This is another hot topic, Steve, right on the money. And this is another one, thankfully, we were early to the game on as well. And it's part of the reason why we've been winning all these great awards with ARCserve, our 12.5, right? So our 12.5 release of ARCserve Backup had in it virtualization, data deduplication, and advanced SRM reporting. And the virtualization component helped people actually manage the virtual machines to a point where we could do granular level backup of the individual VM instance, right? So if a machine went down, you didn't have to actually recover the whole machine. You could actually recover the specific VM instance or a file in the VM instance versus having to bring back the whole machine, right, and start over. So that's one component. The other component of virtualization, what I call is really enablement of virtualization. So we have a lot of customers that are using our ARCserve replication product to replicate their data and server from a physical environment to a virtual environment. So we can help you, first enable you to create physical to virtual, which people are doing in live production environments, and then after you make that move to a virtual environment, then we're backing it up and protecting it, right? So it's a combination. So now you got the ARCserve replication product, you have the ARCserve backup product that's backing up and protecting it, and then our ARCserve high availability product is actually working with companies like VMware and vCenter, right? So vCenter manages all the individual VM instances. Well, we can make vCenter highly available. So what happens if vCenter goes down, right? Well, we could actually fail over vCenter to another server, could be another virtual server, to make sure that it continues to be up and running and managing all of your VMs in your environment.
So one of the knocks, though, against part of all of this from certainly the mid-market, but I think even at the highest end of the market, is people have, because many of their existing backup tools along the way weren't ready, that they were required to bring in some alternate means to be able to do it, and two of anything is much harder than one, as we all know. It's just human nature. And so, you see a lot of smatterings of various newbie companies and technologies that are out there. And so I think what I'm hearing you say is, I go ARCserve, I don't care if it's physical, I don't care if it's virtual, it's one product, it's one management platform, it's one thing.
I couldn't say it any better, right? And what you're going to wind up seeing is all the top-tier storage companies are going to catch up, and those lower-tier specialty niches will disappear because they can't go across, right? They can't manage physical, they can't manage virtual, and they can't manage heterogeneous environments like we can, and we're really the specialists of doing just that. And the good news is that we've been doing it for in the virtualization space since 12.5, so it's been over a year that we've been doing it, and you'll see that we continue to enhance that throughout all of our backup and recovery products.
Terrific. Well, thank you very much, Adam.
Good. Well, thank you for having me.
What a great conversation that was, and we're going to take a few questions we've been getting from the audience. If I can, look what I got. It's an iPad. And look, they got an app for questions. So why don't we take our first question from Jim. Jim asks, Steve, you mentioned remote office support in your talk. What products do ARCserve have, Adam? What are the products that ARCserve has that can help manage data across multiple offices?
Oh, okay. So we spoke about it a couple times, but it's the ARCserve replication and high availability products. So replication allows you to move your applications and data from one server to another across a WAN, and then high availability allows you to then take those applications and make them highly available.
Okay. Ian wants to know, you actually mentioned Unix and Linux support.
Yes.
Right, so Ian wants to know specifically what operating systems are you supporting with ARCserve?
So Windows, of course, Unix, Linux, NetWare are the primary.
Right. And then all flavors or specific flavors of those operating systems?
Pretty much all flavors.
Okay.
And then from there, you have both physical and virtual environments too, and all the different flavors. So whether it's VMware, Microsoft Hyper-V, or Citrix, we fully support all the different virtualization vendors.
Okay. Another question coming in is that you mentioned two backup products. Can you tell us the difference between the two products under the R15 release?
Yep. So what we've done specifically is we broke out a product called ARCserve Disk to Disk. Right, so what we did was we focused in on the pure movement of data at the fastest clip, which is really moving from one disk to another disk. And we've called it ARCserve, of course, ARCserve D2D. And in it, there's two primary features. One is our bare metal recovery to dissimilar hardware, right? So I could take from one IBM box and move to an HP box, and we'll carry over all the device drivers for you. And we can also go from physical to virtual in doing that. And then the other one is our I-squared technology, which is infinite incrementals. So instead of having to do a full backup, right, so we do one full backup and then we only do incrementals thereafter. So saving you both disk space and network traffic. So those are, and that's patent pending technology, our I-squared technology. So that's our disk-to-disk product. The most fun part about it, though, and usually where most people get pulled in, is that we actually built in the whole idea of communities right into the product. So a customer can actually provide feedback directly to development in the product. Right? And then the development person will write back and let them know where the status is of what they just requested. Right in the product.
For all the world to see?
For all the world to see.
Interesting.
Right? And we've actually used it in the beta of ARCserve Disk to Disk. We've actually pushed it out. We didn't release it on time. We actually pushed it out by 4 weeks because of user feedback that we received during the beta through that feature of the product.
Interesting.
Right? The second thing that we added was user groups right in the product. So customers can actually talk to other customers right in the product, and once again, for all the world to see. So the good, the bad, it's all there. And the good news is that it'll keep us honest, and it'll keep making sure that we continue to drive the best innovative product.
Yeah.
Then the third part is that our actual development team is blogging in the product. So you could actually, as a customer, go in there and see what the development team has to say about the product. It's very neat. So it's some of the new features that we've actually added to this ARCserve Disk to Disk, really a Web 2.0 based technology. There's all videos on YouTube, and there's a whole video site just right in the product. Very neat technology.
Wow.
Well,
right?
So we got a question here from Travis, but I just want to ask one thing about this blogging.
Then I'll complete the rest, but go ahead.
But the developers blogging into the product so the users can see it. Are the users able to talk back to the bloggers so you actually have an interactive function along with that? That's fantastic.
It is by far one of the most innovative backup pure disk-to-disk products that's ever come out. And we get really excited when we talk about it, and our customers are getting really excited when they use it. We're getting great feedback on it. So that's the new backup pure disk-to-disk product that we came out with. Mm-hmm. We have our traditional ARCserve backup, which is really your centralized management, right, cutting across Windows, Unix, Linux, right, moving from physical to virtual, and everything else in between, right? So that's the big disk to tape product, and you will always have that out and available as well. So, and the way that we view it is almost you could be a user of ARCserve backup, right, or somebody else, a competitor's backup product, and still use our disk-to-disk product, right, to provide you that speedy bare metal recovery, right, for your data, right? So we actually see them as being complementary to each other, and they can be sold together.
Fantastic.
Okay.
So we have time for one more question, so if you have one, please submit it now. But Travis, and we knew this question was going to come, Travis, is obviously about the cloud. So Travis wants to know, what impact do you see the cloud having on storage, and do you have a cloud strategy in ARCserve?
Great question. The answer is absolutely yes. Okay. We're spending this year moving to a more agile development organization. We hired a great SVP of development from Symantec to run our storage division. And with that, he spent plenty of time building cloud-based technologies. And between him and I, our vision is the cloud is just another point device to back up your data, right? So whether you back up to disk, whether you back up to tape, or whether you back up to cloud, it's just another point device. And what we're doing now is we're working closely with all the cloud providers, whether it's Amazon, Azure, or Iron Mountain, to set that parameter up where you could actually stand up ARCserve, whether it's backup, replication, or high availability, to the cloud. All right? So that's actually in the plans. You will see us in the new agile world release stuff throughout the year that is going to help us fill out that vision around the cloud.
Well, this has been a really great discussion. Thank you for the great questions, and especially want to thank Steve and Adam for the great depth of knowledge here. And Steve, great data. Adam, of course, some really interesting insights on r15, ARCserve's new release. Also want to thank CA ARCserve for making today's eSeminar possible. You've been a great sponsor. And I just want to say thank you all for attending. We've just about wrapped up today's seminar, and we hope that you'll all be walking away with some helpful information.